Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the Iron Life Podcast. I am your host, Chris Tutela, here to help you live the Iron Life. And I got to say, man, we are 151 episodes into this thing. I think most podcasts last like 10 episodes or something crazy like that. So we've been doing it for a while. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit better for you guys. And, first off, I want to always say that I appreciate you. The fact that you give a shit about what I have to say, and if it's helping you move the needle in your life and your business in some way, shape, or form, I can't tell you how much that means to me and how much I appreciate you for listening. So 150 episodes in, and we're only getting better, baby. So thank you guys. If listen, I know a lot of you listening may not be subscribed to the show. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are watching this on YouTube, we are making more of a push on YouTube now and getting these videos out for you guys. So if you could hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, subscribe on YouTube so you could actually watch along. We got some cool green screen action going on here too. It makes it look a little bit cooler here. It makes me feel a little bit more special. So I think you guys will like it. It's a little bit more visually appealing, right, guys? Yeah, I think so. So anyway, what I want to talk to you guys about today, because I know there's a lot of gym owners, trainers listening to this show. I want to share with you the 11 tips to building a world-class gym business, because it's more than what meets the eye. If you're like me, when I first opened my gym back in 2012, it was like, hey, I love training people. This is what I do. I'm going to open a gym. It's the next step of my business, the next step of my career. And then you realize you don't know dick about business, and then you're almost out of business, and then you got to figure this shit out. So I don't want you guys to go through that struggle. I want you guys to be able to grow, because I honestly believe that we have one of the most important jobs in the world, because we are the front lines of preventing people from getting sick, whether it be mental illness, emotional issues, anxiety, things like that, or just overall, type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, stroke, things like that. We are the front lines in preventing those things from happening in the first place, right? And I believe that our job is so friggin' important. And if I don't think that there are enough good quality, real gym owners out there. I think some people get into it for the wrong reasons, and they want to make a buck. So they know a little bit about business. They know a little bit about marketing. So the next step for them is to open a gym, and they don't really give a shit about the clients. They don't really give a shit about their progress. They just care about revenue, profits, and making money. And I know that if you're listening to the show, yeah, revenue, profits, making money, that's very important, of course. It's your livelihood. You should be paid well for doing a good job. But that's the thing. Most people that really focus on doing a good job and love this business and love this industry, most people don't know enough about the business side of it, just like I didn't know. And it took me now, 11 years in running my business, 17 years in the fitness industry to learn these lessons. And I want to share them with you today, because I think it's going to really help you move the needle, whether you already own a gym and you're struggling to profit, or if you are a personal trainer looking to open up your first gym. Either way, these 11 tips will help you. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So tip number 1, focus. And I put these kind of in order here almost. So we'll see if I change that as we go along. But I think I put them in the right order for you guys to excel systematically here. So tip number 1, focus on becoming exceptional first. Master your craft and always keep a white belt mentality. See, it goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. People open the doors to a gym because they hear, oh, this person's making 50 grand a month. This person's making 100 grand a month. I could do that too. And so you might learn some marketing stuff. You might learn some sales stuff, but you're not any good at what you actually do. You're not going to actually help somebody achieve a specific outcome, the outcome that they hire you to help them achieve. So if you're not great at what you do, this is where you have to spend your time right now. You have to become exceptional first. And even if you have been doing this for a long time and you know a lot about training and about nutrition and about recovery and change psychology and all these things, if you're already great at that, you could always get better. Always keep that white belt mentality. Once you say, I already know that, or I know this, or I've done that, and your ego gets the best of you, you're dead in the water. You always got to be willing and wanting and have a desire to learn, man. That's where the best coaches come from. That's where the best gyms, that's how they are created. You know, when you look at DeFranco's, when you look at all Eric Cressy, when you look at all these gyms over the years, who guys like me who have looked up to, and you see how they grew their businesses. It wasn't like they just learned how to market and sell. It was the exact opposite. They really didn't know how to do that, but they were great at what they did. They excelled in coaching, in training, and helping people achieve a result. And that never stops. They're always learning. They're always looking to get better. I am always looking to get better. I'm always looking to get to the next level. It's not like, hey, we opened this gym, I got this going on, and I know it all. No, bullshit. You got to continue to grow. So focus now. The first thing you need to do if you're just starting is become exceptional. Train people for free. Write them diets. Write them programs. Help out your friends. Get some experience doing the work that people are eventually going to pay you for. In the early days, I was training all of my friends. I was writing all of them meal plans. We were all dieting down for summer, getting lean. That was my specialty. And then I was training a lot of athletes. I was the head coach for Union High School football, and I worked with hundreds of kids over there. And when I was working with them, I think I was getting paid like $500 a season or something like that. It was earlier in my career. And it wasn't about the money. It was about the experience and learning all of these nuances that come along with training different demographics. Okay, so do shit for free, excel, take courses always, get certifications always, experiment, try new things on yourself, buy new programs, test them on yourself, on your clients, try new diets, document your progress, your client's progress. So you could see what really works for them. You could see what really works for you. And then you could create your own thing, your own system. But that's why it's so important to get really fucking good at what you do first. Then that takes us to the next thing. Create a great service and great results for your clients. So once you start getting some experience, once you start really obsessing and learning, now it's time to create a great service and get your clients the results that they're looking for. So you have to think of it like this. When you're starting a gym business, it is very much a fucking business, right? And so you have to realize that the client experience, the experience and the journey that they go through as a client with you has to be world class. So a lot of times I'll say that, and coaches will think of just like their training program, which is very true. It's very important. You need to have a great training program. But what about everything else that goes into it, right? Can you put together certain PDFs that will help them, or videos that will help them with nutrition or with recovery, and that's part of their process when they sign up with you? Do you give them a little welcome bag with maybe, I don't know, some recipes, maybe some swag, maybe a little gift card or something along those lines? All of the things that go into working with you. And then also, like, how do you greet them? How do you show them that you give a shit about them? How many times do you check in with them? What does your check-in process look like? You have to think about those things and really map those things out so you get very clear on what your service actually looks like. Who are you serving? And this way, that's going to not only enhance your client experience, it's also going to enhance the results for your clients because you're giving them more value. So that's the thing. Even if you're brand new and you feel like you're undercharging right now, like, that's okay in the beginning. I always tell people, like, Because I know on Instagram, it's like, you got to raise your rates and do this. And I agree with that. But in the very beginning, like I said, don't charge people anything. Give your service away for free. Get some feedback. If you don't have any clients yet, get people in your door by telling them like, hey, I know you said you want to lose 25 pounds. I got this thing. I'm going to launch it. I want to hook you up with the first 8 weeks for free so you could put your thing together and really give them an exceptional experience, get them great results, and then you get some testimonials as well, right? But that's the only way you're going to be able to figure it out. And I'll tell you what, even as your business grows, you're going to have to fine-tune what that service looks like. It's going to evolve at some point. So it shouldn't just be like, oh, this is it. It's good enough. No, man, you should want to be the best in the fucking world and always look at how to get better and how you could improve your service and move the needle on that. So you can move the needle on that service. You can move the needle on the results. And overall, that's going to help you become a better coach and help guide people to where they want to be, right? Like, what the fuck is a coach? It's somebody who takes people from where they currently are to where they want to be. We help them bridge that gap. So what could you add? What could be a value to your client? Where do they struggle the most so we could serve them better? That's what I challenge you to think about, and that's what I challenge you to create. Next up, you need to build a world-class front-end program and everything that goes with it. So let's talk about what a front-end program is in a gym business. Excuse me. So a front-end program is a limited duration with a specific start and end date. It could be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, something along those lines. Usually 6 weeks is the sweet spot. And that front-end program is a way for new clients to try your program and receive your services for a limited period of time. So for instance, you might charge $5.99 for a 6-week program. And in that 6-week program, that includes training, nutrition, and accountability. Your job is to help people make massive progress in a short period of time while teaching them the truth about fitness, about nutrition, about recovery, not giving them some fucking fugazi starvation diet where you're starving them to death for 6 weeks and they lose a bunch of weight and gain it right back. It's not to just beat the shit out of them in the gym, but it's to help them learn how to move properly, how to progress. And listen, I'm talking from a sense of physique transformation, training the general population, but you could do the same thing if you're training athletes. It doesn't matter who your demographic is, but having a front-end program that helps solve a problem for a specific person. It could be athletes, it could be adults, it could be adult men, it could be adult women. It doesn't matter, right? Who do you serve? Who do you want to work with? What's your specialty? Then the same demographic that trains at your gym full-time, that's who you're going to target for your front-end program and your marketing, all right? So you have to make that front-end program exceptional. That service for the front end needs to have its own systems. Okay, the way you onboard people, like what does the sales process look like on the front end? Somebody's going to give you $5.99 for a 6-week program. Well, they're not just going to give you their credit card and say, yep, sign me up, right? You might get one person that does that, but that's not going to be the norm. So you have to have a marketing process. You need to have a sales process, which we're going to talk about in a few moments. But you need to know what that process looks like. Then as they begin, how do you onboard them? Once they sign up, what does your onboarding process look like? Do you put them into a Facebook group? Do you give them a little goodie bag or something like that when they sign up with you? Now, throughout their program, how many days a week are they going to be training with you? What does your training system look like for the new people? How do you progress or regress their training when they're new during that 6-week program? Do you have an exercise selection? Maybe something that you print out or something so it's easy in the future to progress, regress, modify, things of that nature. But having a very, and also, how do you deliver the nutrition material? What about accountability? What do the check-ins look like? Right? That front end program is going to be a game changer for you, because now you're going to take 15, 20, 25, 30 people every month, bring them into your program for a 4-week or a 6-week thing, and they're going to train with you, and you're going to have the opportunity after that to sign them up for the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, etc., right? Because that's the goal. It's not just to train them for 6 weeks. It's for them to get a great result on the front end, and they love your program so much that they want to stick around. All right, so we're going to talk more about that. But the first thing is to have that world-class front-end program. Now, what are you going to need with that? Well, like I said, you're going to need to know how to sell it, right? So you're going to need a sales script. You're going to need to have the back-end conversion script and the back-end conversion process, all right? You're going to need maybe some bonuses. So when they sign up, you also get a meal prep guide. You also get a recipe guide. You get a grocery list. You get some videos on nutrition coaching and things like that. Like, you package those things up as a bonus to make your offer a no-brainer. If you never read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi, I highly recommend you read that book. He's got another great book coming out too that I'm excited to read, $100 Million Leads. But $100 Million Offers, it really goes into creating your offer and how to make it so good that people feel stupid saying no. That's the whole premise behind the book. And I highly recommend that you read that, so that'll help you kind of package your offer together. And that's going to help you with your marketing and et cetera. So anyway, the next thing here, create a systematic marketing process. Now, when I first started, you know what my marketing process was? Well, I hope people will just tell their friends. And then it was, let me go get these brochures printed, and I'm going to drive around, and I'm going to leave a bunch of these brochures at barbershops and at nail salons and all over the place. And guess what? That actually did get me a client or two, but it is not a sustainable marketing process, not in 2023. All right. So you're going to need to create a systematic marketing process. Now, basically, there's 3 buckets for your marketing. So write these down. Number 1 is your online marketing. Number 2 is your offline marketing. And 3 is your internal marketing. So let's talk about online marketing first, because this is going to be your bread and butter. So a few different things you're going to need to do for online marketing. 1, you're going to get yourself an email list. If you don't have one, make sure, Aweber, MailChimp, there's a bunch of them out there. Get yourself an email list. And what you're going to do is you're going to start building that list, getting people to subscribe to your list by giving something of value away, right? So here's an example. You may give away let's just say a recipe guide. And in exchange for that recipe guide, in order for them to download it, they just need to plug in their email address. Once they plug it in, they are now on your email list. They get the digital download. You're giving them value essentially for free. And now you have them on your list where every single week, multiple times per week, you're going to give them value. And throughout that process, you are getting people to know you, to like you, to trust you, to see if they jive with you, to make sure that you are the real deal before they ever buy from you. So that actually starts the client experience. Now, in addition to just, so let me take a step back. You could run ads to that recipe guide. So when people see the ad on Facebook, download this for free, now you're paying for traffic to opt in to your recipe guide, and you'll get way more volume that way by running ads. But you could also do that organically by throwing it up on your Facebook, on your personal Facebook page or your Instagram page, whatever, right? So simple things to get people to opt in. Another thing you could do is offer 6 months or 12 months of training at your gym for free. And you run ads to that. And what you're going to do is you're going to run a little raffle every month where you run ads where people could opt in. They get on your email list, and now they have a chance to win 6 months of training with you. And then you're going to announce a winner once a month. And of course, there's going to be people that take advantage of that, and you're going to train them for free for 6 months. That's going to help you with everything that I just mentioned before. That's going to help you get some testimonials and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, there's so much value in getting all of those people on your email list that alone is the price of admission, especially if you're doing group training. Now, if you're doing one-on-one training, I wouldn't recommend doing something like that where you're training somebody for 6 months for free. But if you're doing group training, especially large group, then that's definitely a strategy that you can use. All right. So you have your email list. Then you have paid traffic using Facebook ads. You could pay for traffic to go to those opt-ins like we just talked about. Or you could pay for traffic to go to promote your front-end program, which should happen every single month. So if you're running a 6-week shred like we do, we have our 6-week shred project. If you're running a 6-week shred program or whatever it is, you're going to run ads promoting that thing. And what people are going to do is they're going to click on that ad. That's going to take them to fill out a quick form. And then that's going to bring you in the lead. It's going to get them onto your email list as well. And now you're going to then have a link to either book a call with you or book an appointment with you. Some people will book an appointment. Some people will not. The people that book, you're going to follow up with them, confirm their appointment. The people that don't book, you're going to follow up with them, text and email, and you could call them as well. You're going to follow up with them, and your goal is to get them to book a call, right? So either way, you're getting them onto your email list, and now you have leads that you could follow up with, people that are showing you interest, okay? And then from there, you could sell them, once you get them on a call or a meeting, you could then sell them into your front-end program. And what I like to do is I like to have a couple weeks of the month where we are building our list, and then a couple weeks of the month where we're promoting our upcoming campaign. So we're either focused strictly on building the list or strictly on selling the program while gaining leads and building a list simultaneously. So that's a great strategy right there. That's one way to do it, guys. Like there's so many different things that you can do. All right, but that's your online program. Now let's talk about offline. So offline is one where a lot of people neglect, and this is not going to cost you any money, and it's going to help you become like the mayor of your town, okay? So offline marketing will include things like, building relationships with other local business owners. Offering them and their employees your front-end program for free in exchange for them promoting your 6-week program or whatever it is to their audience or their customers, right? So it's a simple exchange. So they're getting value by you training them, helping them get fit, helping them get strong, helping them get jacked, whatever it is that you do. And you could also simultaneously promote their business for them while they're promoting your business. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. Another thing you can do is fundraisers, charity workouts, and stuff like that for your local first aid squad, the police department, your fire department, whoever. Things like that, guys, are so big. Maybe you donate to the Pop Warner football program or the Little League team. Things like that where you're sponsoring teams, you're getting involved in the community. That's offline marketing. And that is going to really move the needle for you because now you become the guy or girl that people think of in your community when they think, hey, I really need to, put some muscle on. I really need to lose some fat. I really need to get faster. My kid needs to get faster, whatever it is, whatever service it is that you offer. But you have to be the person that people think about right away whenever they think about accomplishing the thing that you offer is, right? So that's your offline marketing. And then finally, you have your internal marketing. That's where you run referral contests to your members. It could also be a charity workout where this is something that we really like to do. We do it quarterly, where we will run a charity workout for, usually we do them for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We typically donate, anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a year to St. Jude's by money that we raise through these charity workouts. So it's a great cause. But we also do them for the local fire department, like I just told you about. We've done them for the first aid squad. So basically the way that works is you have a charity workout, call it a Saturday morning, and people could donate any amount that they want to donate. Your members are encouraged to bring friends, family members, coworkers, whoever. So their friend could come. They could donate any amount that they want to donate. They could train with you for that day. And then you have the opportunity, because you're going to collect their name, number, and email, to follow up with that person and hopefully sign them up for your front end program. And if not, at least you helped raise money for a great cause. So either way, it's a win-win. But those are your three methods of marketing, guys. So you have your online, and remember, online is paid and organic, okay? And you have your organic email list. Once that's built, now you're sending emails, 3, 4, 5, 7 days a week, where you're giving them value on training, on nutrition, on recovery, or just kicking the ass emails like I like to do. Then you have your organic social media posts, and then you have your paid stuff. So there's so many different things that you can do just by those three buckets: online, offline, internal. And if you focus on those three things every single month, you have to ask yourself, how could I not grow if everything else is great, right? You're exceptional at what you do. You have a great service with great culture. You have a world-class front-end program. And now you have a systematic process where every month you are marketing online, offline, and internally. That is the key, my friends. That is the key. And by the way, you have that front-end sales process that goes hand in hand with your marketing. You market the fuck out of your gym. You have a front-end sales process that is repeatable, a process that you could train other people on. And now you get them, you're in front of them with great marketing, great advertising, building your brand, differentiating yourself, and now you get them into your program. Okay, now the next step is crucial. Creating a back-end sales process, okay? So, excuse me as I get a little caffeine in the veins. You're going to create a back-end sales process. So like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to just sign them up for a 6-week thing and then never see them again. Your goal is to sign them up for a 6, 12, 18-month program on the back end after their 6-month program is awesome or is over. It's your job to make that program awesome and blow them away during that time with you. So what does a back-end program or a back-end sales process look like? So to sell your back-end program, you're going to have to schedule a one-on-one, either Zoom or in-person meeting with them. And basically what I like to do is dive into nutrition during that meeting, because most people, like when they come to the gym, it just makes sense, right? They're going to know, you're going to be training them and talking so much training there. And a lot of the times it's the nutrition piece that they're struggling with even more. So that's what I like to do. I like to make it based around nutrition, where it's another opportunity for you to give more value to them and help solve their problems. Now, if you don't offer that, or if your service is completely different, then you could make this whatever it is, whatever you want to make it. But it needs to be value driven. You need to give your client their more value. It's another opportunity. So when it's based around nutrition, you basically go over a review of their initial results thus far, and you talk about what their experience has been like with their nutrition up to this point, because in a front-end program, you're going to give them nutrition coaching. So when that program starts, you're going to help them build out a meal plan and all that good stuff. So at this point, you're going to have a conversation with them to see how it's going thus far. And you're going to see what's going well for them and what are they struggling with. And once they tell you what they're struggling with, you're going to help them bridge the gap to solve their problems. Like usually it's pretty simple things, little simple tips. they're not paying for a nutrition coaching service. So it's not a 5-hour call. Usually it's a 20, 30-minute call where you could give them some simple tips and pointers to help them simplify their nutrition. Okay. Really basic level stuff. That's what most people need, at least the people that we work with at this point. They just need to improve that baseline or that set point, like Jason Phillips likes to call it. So we help them move that baseline forward and we give them tips. We help them bridge the gap. Then the next thing is talking about their goals. Like, all right, cool. So you lost 15 pounds so far. Like, where do you want to be in the next year? Where do you want to be in the next 2 years? Like, what is it that you want your life, your health, and fitness to look like? And then they're going to tell you what their big goals are. And then you're going to say, all right, cool. So your next steps are do X, Y, Z, what I just told you to do as far as the nutrition stuff, because that's going to matter. And of course, it's really important to continue training, right? Like, what were you doing 6 weeks ago? Sitting on my couch, scratching my ass. Okay, cool. Well, that's not going to get you to, 8% body fat. we got to make sure that you continue to train. If you want to be lean, you want to be jacked. So you got to continue to train, and we got to dial in your nutrition with the tips that we just talked about. But then we could touch on the other things, lifestyle and recovery. All right, so moving on, I want to make sure that we are, whatever it is, you're walking somewhere between 7,500 and 10,000 steps per day, and you're sleeping 7 to 9 hours per night. And maybe you give them some tips around those areas as well, right? And then, and by the way, before the meeting starts, I always like to say, because I like to be transparent, I like to say, hey, look, what we're going to do today is we're going to go over all this nutrition stuff. We're going to help figure out where you are, where you want to be. And then if it's cool with you, once we wrap that stuff up, we'll dive into our different program options and memberships so you can see what it looks like moving forward. Is that cool? They say yes. And then you move on with all the nutrition stuff. And then you get to the final piece, which is the sale. And it's pretty simple, guys. It's basically after you go over all the stuff that you just said, you then say to them, hey, look, so we have a special offer for you guys today as a thank you for being a part of this 6-week program where we could offer you guys a little bit of a discount on our most popular membership, which is our 12-month membership. For us, probably about 90% of the people that stick with us do the 12-month. Some people do a 6-month, some people do an 18, but about 90% do the 12-month. So what we like to do is offer a special gift on that 12-month program where we give them a discount at first month, we give them a free month and a free challenge. Again, so anytime they feel like they need a little revamp with nutrition, they need some nutrition coaching, they get that free of charge for signing up today on the 12-month. But there's also a 6-month available. There's also an 18-month available. Which one works best for you? Most people take the 12. Bada bing, bada boom. They sign up. Your business is growing. You're helping more people. You're changing their lives. You're helping them move the needle. And it's a very simple sales process that's not super complex, right? So don't think that you have to be like a sleazy car salesman. First off, you believe in what you're selling, right? I fucking hope so. I hope that you think that your program will change their fucking life, because if you don't, then your program sucks and you probably shouldn't be doing this. You got to buy into what you're doing and believe that you could truly change this person's life by them doing your program. If you don't believe that, if you don't feel good about that, then that is on you. You got to fix your beliefs around money. You got to fix your beliefs around your program. And maybe you just got to fix your program in general. Because if you're that unsure or uneasy about selling your own thing, then maybe that's what you got to fix. Okay? So you have to have a solid, whatever you want that to look like. That's just what I do. So that you could use that as an example, but you need to create a back-end sales process. Now, number 6, you have to become a master connector and network with local businesses as well as other industry leaders. So this is something that is really important. So as far as a master connector, we already talked about the relationships that you're going to be building with, people in your community. So you're already going to be building those relationships, offering them your program, getting them into your gym, promoting them. Also, hey, you go eat at their restaurant, throw it up on IG, tag them, tell people what you got. Here's a healthy option that I got from JoJo's Pizzeria down the street. Here's a great salad option. All right, here's what I got at Manny's Diner down the road. It's a great omelet option, right? Like simple things where you're helping people that follow you make better, healthier choices when they go out to eat, and simultaneously promoting their restaurant, their establishment, or whatever it is that you're promoting. Could be a massage place, a chiropractor, could be a smoothie spot, right? Think about the places that are nearby that you could help them grow while you're also then promoting to their customers because they're going to share it. So it's a win-win. That's what becoming a connector is all about, right? Or, hey, maybe you develop a good relationship with the massage guy down the street, and anytime one of your clients tells you that they have a neck thing going on or a back thing, you could refer them to that massage guy who now you're helping them grow their business. And maybe you could even work something out where anytime you send a client to them, there's a referral program, you get a small kickback, or you guys just cross-promote each other and you refer them, they refer you, and you go back and forth. But that is the power of becoming a connector. Now, that's on the local scale. But what about online? Think about the people that you admire in this industry and the people that you've followed for a long time. Odds are they have a much bigger platform than you. If you could develop relationships with those people and give value to them as well, you could A, help deliver value to that person, which is always first and foremost. But B, and hey, maybe that means delivering value, by the way, is like, one of the coaches that you follow and that you've learned from for years, maybe they offer a coaching program. And maybe you sign up for that program and you refer a few friends as well, and you let them know, like, hey, me and 3 of my buddies, we're going to be signing up for your certification. I've been following you for years, really looking forward to meeting you. Thank you for all you do. Simple things like that. Pay them for their services that they offer. But you got to pay to get into the room. Masterminds, certifications, courses, sharing their content and tagging them in it, giving credit where credit is due. You learn an exercise from them, and you're doing it in your own training. You take a video of it and you tag them and you say that you learned this exercise from this person, right? It's about giving back to the people and paying homage to the people who have paved the way in the industry. I've done this multiple times throughout my career. If you look at people that I've worked with and a lot of the people that I'm now friends with, it's because I cultivated relationships with them. I went above and beyond to join their programs, or I sought them out in some way, shape, or form, did their certifications, went to an event that they were running, a seminar. Now, that's me and Jay Ferrugia are close friends. I'm friends with Luca Hocevar. I'm friends with Joe DeFranco. I'm good friends with Bedros now. Worked with him for over 4 years, Bedros Keuilian. John Russin, people have been on this podcast, Dr. John Russin, Jason Phillips. If you take a look at the people who've been on this show and the people that I'm lucky enough to call friends, it's because I reached out to them or I went to their thing. Like, I went above and beyond. I paid to get into the room. That is going to be huge for you in your career. It doesn't have to be the first thing that you do, right? You got to, number one, become exceptional at what you do. But part of the white belt mentality and becoming exceptional at what you do is getting around these other experts in the industry and learning from them. You can't be a cheap ass. I don't want to pay $1,000 or $2,000. Shut the fuck up. It's going to make you better. You're going to grow because of that investment, and you're going to make 10x that this year in return. So pay to get into the room, whatever it costs. Okay? Figure it out. It's important. All right? All right. And then, by the way, refer other people into their thing, right? I touched on that a little bit there, but I want you to just keep that in mind, like to connect once, whether you have their phone number or you're just, friends, cool with them on Instagram, you follow each other. Now, when you meet somebody else who could benefit from joining their thing, let's say it's a certification, well, now you could create a group chat and you could connect those two. So now you're sending them clients. That's value that you're now adding to them. You're helping them make more money, help them improve the lives of whoever it is that they're serving, right? So important, guys. Can't stress enough how important that is. Now, number 7, the 7th tip for building a world-class gym business. You need to build your tribe. You need to build a tribe. What is going now? There's going to come a point where you're not going to be the guy or girl that's running every training session. You're not going to be the person that's doing everything that you do in the beginning. So your members are not going to directly, they might not necessarily have that direct relationship with you anymore. So you need to make sure that your business is cultivating a tribe. Human beings are tribal by nature. We always want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And if you understand that and understand how valuable it is to create an environment and create a place that people want to be a part of, and you do that by running events outside of the gym. Maybe it's a bowling night. Maybe it's a picnic. Maybe it's a volleyball game at the beach. Maybe it's axe throwing. Anything, but having an event outside the gym. Doing member shout outs on your personal social media or in those Facebook groups that we talked about. Having Facebook groups, by the way. You need to have a Facebook group and all of your members should be in it. Merch, running seminars, building community with those charity events. That all comes down to building your tribe and having your core values, making sure people are aligned with those core values, and that your team, which we'll talk about, is also aligned with your core values. But building a tribe is so important to your success because, listen, man, not everybody cares so much about the quality of training, unfortunately, like you and I do. We care about, and we could geek out about all this shit. Most of your clients are not geeking out over, a conjugate periodization model versus a linear periodization model. Like, they don't care as much as we do. However, what they do care about is feeling important. What they do care about is the people that are working for you and you showing that you give a shit about them, going above and beyond for them, running events and for them having fun and being a part of something. It's up to us to deliver an exceptional training experience and result. But the reason that those silly boot camps and circuit training gyms and all these things exist, it's because of the community that it builds. So now think about it this way. If you're listening to the show, you'd love training. You'd love quality training. So if you could deliver a quality training service plus this other stuff, now imagine what that's going to do for your business, because people are going to say, man, it's about technique. They're correcting my technique all the time. They're modifying the program for me. We talk nutrition. We talk lifestyle stuff. We talk recovery stuff. They really go above and beyond. There's touch points. There's accountability. If they see that I'm missing, they're reaching out to us. Think about that now. Think about how you really build a tribe so people become raving fans. All right? Now, number 8. You're going to differentiate yourself by doing what you do best. Don't try to appeal to everyone. I have certainly made this mistake over the years. For the longest time, we have been a gym that is focused on quality strength training, and we call it customized group training, where we're going to modify our program to fit your specific needs. But sometimes you get sucked up into the business side of things. I've done this before, where you start to say hey, this could bring in X amount of revenue, or this could bring in this. Then it starts to sound like a better and better idea because maybe it's better for business. But what happens is when you start to try to appeal to the masses, you then appeal to no one, because you're trying to show I could help overweight women lose 50 pounds, but I could also help a guy who wants to go from 12% body fat to 7% body fat get shredded. It's well, who are you promoting to? So you got to make sure that you know exactly who your avatar is, so you could promote to that person And that will be in your marketing. It'll be in all the things that you do, whether it be online, offline, organic, whatever. But it doesn't mean you have to turn everybody down. It just means you need to understand what that's going to look like. And your training program should be built around that person that you actually are good at training and that you want to train, and let it be built for that person. Don't start to change things just because you start attracting other people. You know, I have a good friend who was training, we'll say, athletes and meatheads, for lack of a better term, for the longest time. But then they started to get into the boot camp side of things, and they started to change, and they started to sell all their equipment. Now all their fucking dope strength equipment that they have, now they got rid of it, and now they got all battle ropes and, you know, like light kettlebells and shit like that. And it's like, well, now it's a completely different person that you're targeting, right? It's a completely different person that you're training. So now you get half the meatheads leaving, and you get more of these other people that are coming in that style of training appeals to. And now it's like, fuck, well, I don't even like training these people, but I might be making more money, and then that sucks, right? So you got to make sure that you differentiate yourself, stay true to yourself, stay true to what you love, so you could actually deliver the level of service and get the right people into your gym. Number 9, document everything that you do and have processes for everything. I am fucking talking everything. The way you open the gym, what do? You go into the bathroom, you make sure the bathroom's clean, you make sure there's soap, you make sure there's toilet paper and paper towels, you make sure that the sink was wiped down the night before, you make sure that there's not garbage overflowing and flies. If there is, you change that shit, you get it out of there. Make sure that the lights are on, the music's on, make sure the equipment is set up properly, make sure that the floor is vacuumed the night before. You might have to spot vacuum a little bit if it wasn't. Man, that's got to be documented. And as you can see, that is documented for us. I could recite the whole fucking manual to you, because I've read it and redid it over and over and over and over and over again. You got to document every little thing down to the letter. The way you open the gym, the way you close the gym, the way you respond to text messages, the way you respond to emails, your tonality in your texts and your emails, how you handle member holds, how you handle member cancellations, how you write and run your training sessions. How do you explain your training program to the random average Joe that walks in off the street? How could you break down nutrition and simplify it enough so a third grader could understand it? All of these things must be documented and systematized so they become repeatable processes. All right? That is so important. If you never read The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, read it now. Okay? But make sure you document everything. Number 10. And this is one of the most important ones, guys. We only got 2 more for you. How are we doing on time there, Connor? We okay? All right, cool. So, number 10, you cannot do it alone. You need to master your leadership skills and build a team. Now, listen, you might be thinking, I don't want a team of 10 people. I don't want to have this and that. I hear you. And maybe you never do that. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But even if you have 2 people working for you, and maybe that's an admin and a coach, you're going to need to develop leadership skills. You're going to need to understand that if you try to do everything by yourself, you're going to end up hating your gym in about a year, and you're going to be burnt out and exhausted, and your family's going to hate you, and you're going to have no social life. I don't think that's what you want. So understand that first, you're documenting these processes so it's easier for you to onboard and train people when you're ready to make your first hire. And typically, it's my first hire was a part-time admin that was handling booking those nutrition consultations that I told you about earlier. And then it was a coach. No, it was a coach first. I had interns and then I had part-time coaches in there. That's when I was working at the fire department and I had coaches covering me on the days that I was off. Right, so that's how it started, and then it was a part-time admin that was booking my consults and stuff like that, and just responding to emails. But hey, maybe that's as big of a business as you actually want, and that's fine. Like right now, I have 6 coaches, I have a VP and director. So we have a team of 8 right now. And when I started this business, I never thought that I wanted a team of 8 people. I thought it was just going to be me forever, right? Just running the show by myself. But then I also have a marketing agency who runs my ads for me. I have a website guy and a website team, and I have a virtual assistant. Like, I have other people that are helping me. I'm recording this podcast at a studio right now. because I don't fucking know how to do this stuff. I just like to come here and I like to talk shit onto this microphone and let these guys handle the rest, right? But a shared universe, by the way, in Homedale and Red Bank, 2 locations. Shout out to Ming and Connor over here. So anyway, you can't do it alone. You need to develop leadership skills. You need to learn how to manage and run a team and not just be a tyrant, not be a dictator, but to actually lead from the front. Don't make your team or tell your team to do things that you have never done, but show them how you used to do it and show them that you're willing to work there alongside of them to help them. Show them that you want to see them grow, that you want to see them excel, that you want to see them succeed in this industry. Because people will go to bat for you if they see that you want them to win and they see that they are also evolving, right? But you can't do it alone, and you can't do it with shit leadership skills, all right? So master those things. Next up, and the last one that I have for you guys today, number 11, charisma and making others feel important must always remain a top priority. You must always make your team feel important. You must always make your members feel important. You must always make your friends, your wife, your husband feel important. You have to shine light on others. That's going to lift them up. That's going to lift you up. And when it comes to building a gym business, the relationships that you build are going to be so important for your growth. And also, always be a constant reminder as to why you're doing this in the first place. It's a reminder of why you got into this, because at some point, you're going to be so wrapped up in sales and marketing and all these other things and your evolution and growth that you might begin to forget why you started this in the first place. And those relationships are the constant reminder for you. It's your constant reminder to do better and that you're actually serving other human beings. They're not just numbers. It's not just revenue, profit margins. It's people. It's the relationships. It's the bonds. It's the connections. Those are the most important things. And finally, with that, having charisma. You could be the smartest coach in the world. But if you have no personality and you're like, all right, today we're doing 3 sets of 8 reps, nobody gives a fuck. I don't care how smart you are or how good you are at what you do. Nobody's going to want to train with you. You got to be charismatic. And if you're not charismatic, you got to go to improv courses. This is what Jay Ferrugia taught me a long time ago at one of his events. Like, go to improv. Even if you are good at, if you do have charisma, go to these improv courses. Learn how to speak well, learn how to speak better publicly, like go to Toastmasters, do the things that will help you be more charismatic, because at the end of the day, it is you who is attracting people into your business. So guys, those are the 11 tips to building a world-class gym business. I truly hope that this episode has helped you today, because I know what it's like to have a struggling gym. And when you're trying to do it and you're thinking about quitting in those early days, man, I'm telling you, if you just start to apply these things that we talked about today, your business will start to grow. You cannot resist the evolution and you cannot resist what is necessary to grow a business. But remember, you could still be true to yourself. You could still be true to the iron game and to quality training. You don't have to deviate from that to make money and to succeed as a gym owner in this industry. So focus on the things that I said. And if you are not subscribed to this show, again, I'm going to ask you if you could click the subscribe button. If you have a second to leave a 5-star review or a written review on iTunes, man, I would appreciate that so much. I'll even hook you up with some swag for doing so. And we're now on YouTube, so go ahead and make sure that you subscribe on YouTube to my channel as well. It's just Chris Tutela if you search my name. you'll find the channel, and you'll see all the previous episodes and some other stuff I put up over the years. And we're making a push to really improve our YouTube channel as well. It doesn't look too pretty right now, but the podcast stuff is good, and the other stuff we're working on. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for everything. I will catch you next week on another episode of the Iron Life Podcast. Peace!